His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Imo State, the Honorable, the Acting Chief Judge of Imo State, Honorable colleagues, the Secretary to the Government of Imo State, the Chief of Staff to the Governor of Imo State, the Head of Service of Imo State, Heads of Security Agencies in Imo State, Chairman, Imo State Council of Traditional Rulers, members of the State Executive Council, past speakers and honorable members of Imo State House of Assembly here present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols duly observed. With great sense of humility and respect, it is my pleasure to, on behalf of my respected colleagues, the honorable members, the management and staff of Imo State House of Assembly, welcome Your Excellency and your entourage to this state chamber. This constitutionally mandated annual ritual of the legislative arm is as enshrined in Section 121 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. To which the Governor shall cause to be prepared and laid before the House of Assembly at any time before the commencement of each financial year, estimates of the revenues and expenditure of the state for the next following year. Unarguably, the budget occupies a center stage in public sector financial management. It equally represents a strategy which guides the activities of any government which desires to bring development down to the grassroots. It is that document that aggregates and integrates government plans and policies into a comprehensive action document for the benefit of the governed. Your Excellency, for almost 2 years since the inception of the 3R administration under your leadership, you have ensured that a harmonious working relationship exists between the executive and the legislative arms of government in Imo State. This posture may not be unconnected with your background as a successful businessman, astute parliamentarian, and now governor. This has in no small measure enhanced the performance of the legislative arm of Imo State government under your governorship. We have no doubt whatsoever that the 2022 appropriation bill about to be laid before the Hallowed Chamber will address the aspirations of genuine and patriotic Imo sons and daughters by providing more infrastructural facilities for the states, as well as enhance socio-economic advancement of Imo State. It is imperative to mention a few of Your Excellency's giant strides in the infrastructural upgrade of the state capital, Owerri. The reconstruction of the Warehouse Bank Road intersection, the Fire Service Wedra Road, Mbise Road intersection, the Naze Junction Aba Road intersection, the Okigwe Road Wedra Road Government House intersection, the Imsu Junction, Okigwe Road intersection, and so on, accompanied with their state-of-the-art road accessories, have no doubt upgraded Imo State capital into a model city. Other laudable projects by Your Excellency include, but not limited to, the reconstruction of the Chukwumawanha Road, the Tiger Road, Chukwumawanha Bypass Road, Naze Nekede Ihiagwa Road, Federal Secretariat World Bank Road, Ebada Onisha Road, and the introduction of the balloon technology drainage system, which has drastically reduced the flood menace that ravaged the metropolis in the past years. These roads were almost impassable before the administration came on board. Foregoing achievements are eloquent testimonies to the fact that you mean well for the state and you are determined to take Imo State to the next better level. Let me seize this moment to very profusely thank Your Excellency for your demonstration of uncommon courage in rising up to the new dimensions of crime, criminality, and banditry people in recent past. No doubt, this is chaperoned by disgruntled opposition elements within the states. Though all these are calculated to distract government and derail the development of Imo State, you have continued to exhibit this doggedness and unwavering capacity that has kept the hope of Imo people alive while shaming detractors. As a house, our prompt considerations and passage of the Imo State Security Intervention 31 billion supplementary appropriation bill, and the passage of Imo Security Organization Bill, Law number 2 of 2021, are our legislative tools in contributing to a very concerted efforts in curbing crimes and criminality in the state. Finally, permit me to take advantage of this medium to thank Your Excellency for the ongoing renovation of Imo State House of Assembly complex, the Speaker's Lodge, and more especially the recovery of government property as well as those of citizens which were unpatriotically and illegally acquired by the past administration that ruled Imo State. We have been commitment to partnering with Your Excellency in moving Imo forward within the 2021 fiscal year, passed 9 bills and 79 motions forwarded to Your Excellency for your necessary actions. I reassure Your Excellency on behalf of Imo State House of Assembly that in our further commitment and dedication, we shall expeditiously consider and pass the 2022 appropriation bill as to enable you continue your good works for the good people of Imo State in the 2022 financial year. Long live Your Excellency, long live Imo State, long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much and God bless you. Clerk.
Still under order of the day, item number 9, presentation of year 2022 appropriation bill by the Governor of Imo State, His Excellency Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma.
Honorable members, it is my pleasure to invite His Excellency, the most distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma, the Governor of Imo State, to present his 2022 appropriation bill to Imo people.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Imo State, Professor Placid Njoko, the Speaker, Imo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Kennedy Ibe, the Acting Chief Judge of Imo State, Honorable Justice Teresa Chikeka, the Deputy Speaker, Imo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Amara Iwayaun, the Majority Leader, Right Honorable Kanayo Emechi, the Chief Whip, and other principal officers of the House of Assembly and members of Imo State House of Assembly, the Secretary to the Government of Imo State, the former speakers who are here with us, members of my entourage, the Clerk of Imo State House of Assembly, former members or non-serving members, and other legislators who are with us this afternoon, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to be in the House chambers of the People's Assembly to present the People's Budget. This is a very important annual ritual of budget presentation, particularly coming at this time for the year 2022 fiscal year. Today's event presents yet another milestone in the life of my government of shared prosperity. As you know, this is the second time in the history of our administration that I will be laying before this honorable chamber the budget estimate and the Appropriation Bill in accordance with Section 121 of 1999 Constitution as amended. Considering that our efforts to deliver our program of shared prosperity through wealth creation and recovery that is expected to come into full force in the year 2022 financial year. This budget is aptly christened Budget of Wealth Consolidation and Recovery. Last year, I presented the 2021 budget, which was christened Budget of Wealth Creation. At that historic session, I emphasized the fact that my vision of a new Imo is predicated on freedom, security, and shared prosperity wedded into good governance. I also assured that despite the infrastructural deficits and the solid state of the socio-economic facilities that we met on ground on assumption of office, that we will not relent in making tenacious efforts to turn things around. I also made a promise that the new Imo under my watch as a governor will enshrine a sustainable culture of shared prosperity that will guarantee the commonwealth of the people of Imo State. I reiterated that the defining ethics of our new Imo State shall be good governance, prosperity, rule of law, and equity. I want to make it absolutely clear that these mission statements remain sacrosanct, even in the face of obvious challenges posed by the prevailing microeconomic environment. As you know, a few weeks ago, we kickstarted our agenda on the recovery of looted wealth of the people, with the recovery of some lands, particularly the Share Camp and the Kingsley Uzodinnma University. We expect that the recovery program will reach its peak in the coming fiscal year. The last 1 year has been quite eventful and challenging, but we stood our ground to the glory of God. In spite of the largely contrived security challenges, we've been able to make reasonable and positive impact in the lives of our people. We've made lives safer for Imo people, and we have also provided jobs. We've also created an enabling environment for more job opportunities for our youth, despite the contrived insecurity that has bedeviled our state. Apart from the thousands of youths who we were able to empower through skill acquisitions and various empowerment programs of government, the recent commissioning of a fashion cluster by the Vice President under the Small and Medium Enterprise Scheme Clinic opens a wide range of job opportunities for our skilled dressmakers. Fitted with a fully equipped dressmaking factory at Akwakuma in Owerri, our youth with relevant skills can now walk into the factory, pay minimum fees, and produce commercial quantities of face caps, modern t-shirts, and all manner of fashionable dresses at significantly reduced cost. This program is surely a very good signpost for our government of shared prosperity. Let me draw your attention to the fact that for the first time in the history of annual budget presentation in Imo State, the proposed 2022 budget will be submitted with the medium-term expenditure framework. This is an important document that captures the proposed medium-term capital expenditure on programs and projects of the state over a period of time. Another great budgetary innovation worth mentioning here is the citizens' budget. This is an abridged version of the 2022 budget. The difference is that it is written in a simple language, and it is a product of an open, participatory, transparent, and inclusive process of the people of Imo State through citizens' engagement, stakeholders forum. This was held at different levels across the state. The essence was to ensure the articulation and inclusion of the needs of the people in the various communities in the 2022 budget. Town hall meetings and community engagements were conducted at different times in different local governments. This is the novel document, the first since the history of Imo State. It means that we were able to capture the exact needs assessment, the exact needs of our people, local government by local government, by conducting community engagements and town hall meetings. This is in line with the state fiscal transparency, accountability, and sustainability. That is the SEFTAS program of the World Bank guidelines. And this is about the best global practices. I urge honorable members to study the inputs from their local governments to ensure that they are fully implemented. Because I'm almost confident that if implemented, will be a quantum leap on the level of development and positive impact of governance on the citizenry. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm delighted to present to you an impressive report card of the performance of my administration in almost 2 years now. These achievements are in line with our 3R agenda of reconstruction, rehabilitation, and recovery. Above all, the achievements have added measurable and tangible value to the well-being of our people. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I make bold to say that even our worst critics will admit, just like we'll be able to capture in the serious address Mr. Speaker just delivered, that in less than 2 years, we've been able to make a remarkable difference in various priority areas. Yes, the gloomy sky of uncertainty and despondency of yesterday has given way to a sunny sky of great promise and a better life for our people. Our infrastructure is now better than we met it. Our health facilities are more robust and proactive. Our educational system is now back to producing brilliant students with grade A scores. As I speak to you, another set of medical doctors are graduating today in Imo State University. This will be the third set since I assumed office as the governor of Imo State. For 11 good years, the university was not able to graduate one doctor. The medical school went into comatose. Our efforts on assumption of office brought back the medical school, rehabilitated the medical school, injected life into school, and almost immediately started producing medical doctors for humanity. As I go down to specifics, Mr. Speaker, you will agree with me that things are looking better today than they were when we came on board. Permit me, therefore, to mention some of the remarkable achievements we've recorded within the period under review. Massive construction of roads in urban and rural areas in the 3 senatorial districts of Imo State, namely Owerri, Olo, and Okigwe. The road construction rehabilitation is aimed at strengthening the socio-economic activities of the state, as well as enhancing the easy movement of people, goods, and services for the overall development of Imo State. In this respect, a total of 60 roads are undergoing durable construction and rehabilitation. Out of these, 13 numbers have been completed, while 47 others are at different stages of completion. Worthy of note is the presidential visit to Imo State by His Excellency, the President and the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to commission numerous road projects, including other important personalities like some governors and the national chairman of our great party. I will not forget in a hurry the modern balloon technology that took away the flooding of the MCC Orata Road, the Tiger and Chukwumawa, and that made the place again more habitable. The list of all these roads are as an annexure in my address, which for want of time, I may not want to read one by one here. We've been able to take care of urban and rural roads. Therefore, in the 2022 budget, we've made sufficient provision for those roads that were started in 2021 that were not able to be completed, so that by 2022, they will be completed and commissioned. Other road projects that we intend to embark under 2022 are properly captured in the budget. Our urban renewal programs, it is no longer news that we met dilapidated infrastructure on assumption of office, and the capital city without free-flowing traffic. Hence, we immediately conducted a traffic study and embarked on providing the most modern way of constructing junctions and traffic lights. As I speak today, we can bear witnesses that warehouse roundabout, government house roundabout, and all other roundabouts contained in Mr. Speaker's speech are now completed and have eased traffic congestions in those areas. A good number of others are under construction and will soon come on stream, thus turning over into a modern state capital in Nigeria. Fiscal matters. The following achievements have been recorded in this area: elimination and management of a comprehensive automation on our payment systems, including salaries and payment for contracts. The modernization, automation of our mode of entirely generated revenue and accountability through the introduction of Treasury Single Account, TSA, thereby coping the cases of revenue leakages from MDS and other sources. I must confess that even when this automation is yet to be completed, leakages still exist. It is my hope that at the end of the exercise, we would have put in place a system that will eliminate 100% revenue leakages from our system. The passage and assent to the domestication of Imo State Debt Management Law number 6 of 2021 in June. This is a great milestone because apart from its impact on our financial and revenue management, which allows for a greater impact for checks and balances, it attracted United States dollars 2 million to the state as a grant from World Bank. Turnaround of the state's investment portfolio as arrears of dividend. Before I assumed office, it was not captured in any budget that dividends were collected from companies and areas where Imo State had investments. Well, so far, we embarked on a forensic audit. We've been able to recover all the shares in companies where government of Imo State invested. As I speak to you, only a few weeks ago, we recovered as dividends 320 million naira, and this money was transferred to our single treasury account as part of our IGR. The downturn of the economy has made it imperative that alternative sources of revenue must be provided to boost economy outside the oil sector. We must ensure that the people have food to eat. Hence, we have activated opportunities to enable our youth to engage in agriculture. Outside the government budgetary provisions, we are engaging the federal government to complete the dams for dry season farming at Yishi and Okigwe. We are also engaging the Central Bank of Nigeria and other relevant bodies that have facilities for those in agriculture to consider the state and also to consider our people. The state government has embarked on the inspection of the oil palm plantation base of the state. We have replanted over 140 hectares of land with oil palm seedlings at Adapam, Ohaji, and Ngokala. Investors are also being sought to take over the rubber plantation for repositioning, replanting, and modernization. Workers' salaries. This government inherited a chaotic payment verification system, which alienated a lot of serving officers and pensioners from the payroll. I want to assure you, Mr. Speaker, that machinery has now been put in place and is already working to ensure that genuine staff of the state government receive their salaries and wages promptly. When this is true, pensioners and workers will no longer go through the hurdles of suffering to get their salaries and pension payments. We are very friendly to the civil service. The problem we had, we met a very dirty house, and we have to sweep the house before we can go into the house to live. In the process of trying to clean the house, sweep the house, some people went into one form of inconveniences or the other, for which we apologized. But the reconstitution of the board of the Civil Service Commission has now begun to enhance the treatment of important matters affecting the civil service, such as petitions, discipline, contract appointments, promotion, and other things derivable or needed to make us have a quality civil service. Collection of internally generated revenue by Imo Internal Revenue Service. Despite the challenges arising from COVID-19 pandemic and its effects on businesses and other aspects of the economy, we've been able to accelerate the drive of internally generated revenue. By the grace of God, our curve has been on the increase, and our hope is to add impetus to whatever that is in place to ensure that our internally generated revenue grows from strength to strength. Efforts are being made to boost the tourism potentials of the state and increase revenue generation. The Ministry of Tourism and Creative Arts and Culture has embarked on hotel profiling with a view to identifying, regulating, categorizing, control and standardization of all hotels, restaurants, and fast food outlets, event centers, and other tourism-related enterprises in the state. Completion of the reconstruction and furnishing of building projects in government house, such as the State ESCO Chambers, ESCO Lounge, Office of the Wife of the Governor, which were commissioned by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibanjo. His Excellency, the President Muhammadu Buhari, during his visit to Imo State on 14th March 2021 and the visit of 9th September 2021, respectively. The urban renewal program of the state government received a lot of boosts this year, as many ornamental trees and choice grasses were planted and are still being planted, particularly on Wedra Road, Bank Road, Okigwe Road, and a number of other major roads in the entire Owerri municipal. We were able to provide security vehicles, equipments, armored personnel carriers to our security agencies to enable them combat security challenges faced by the state from the second quarter of this year. These security challenges, as many of us know, are also being sponsored and financed by political opponents. It is so sad that those behind the killing of our people, very important personalities like traditional rulers, are paid by our own brothers and sisters from Imo State. It is our prayer that Almighty God will expose them, and by His grace, the law will soon catch them. Government also procured and installed very high-frequency radio telecommunication equipments and other security equipments, modern gadgets to combat crime. Mr. Speaker, our state, in terms of intelligence gathering, tracking, and monitoring, I will assure you, has received a lot of equipment, and what we have on ground in Imo State can be compared to what any state anywhere in the world has. The Ministry of Budget, Economic Planning and Statistics upgraded and published the 2021 budget to meet the National Chart of Account, and in line with the State Fiscal Transparent Accountability and Sustainability Self-Tax Program of the World Bank, enhanced the revenue generation. Mr. Speaker, before my assumption as the Governor of Imo State, out of over $1.8 billion earmarked by World Bank for transparency and accountability, Imo State did not receive a dime. Under my watch as the Governor, we have received over $10 million. This has enhanced our revenue generation, and it is our hope that we will continue to benefit from that envelope in order to support our very low federal allocation and also the downfall of the IGR occasioned by slowdown in economic activities arising from the effects of COVID-19 pandemic. Preparation of the citizens' budget. 2022, engagement of MDS, NGOs, CSOs, people with special needs, Indians, traditional rulers, president generals of town unions, the clergy, faith-based organizations, women, youth groups, and other relevant stakeholders. They made participatory input into our 2022 budget proposal. From the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Services, the federal government has authored a lot of intervention programs. When we came on board in the Imo State operations of Soko, we had only 9 local governments benefiting from the conditional cash transfer. With what we did, coupled with the strengthening of our poverty register, we've been able to increase and make sure that the cash transfers now is obtainable in the 27 local governments of Imo State. The cash transfer unit in that program is working day and night to capture more vulnerable and very poor people to be able to benefit from that program. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, restoration of electricity and water supply in the state. To ensure conducive working environment for civil servants for increased productivity, water and electricity supplies have been restored in the state secretariat. Also, capacity building. In capacity building, we have training programs on administrative procedures, practices, and service delivery, which we have already completed for Imo State civil servants. This was conducted early this year. In the health sector, we've just embarked on the renovation of 305 primary health centers. It is important for this honorable House to know that 90% of the deaths in Imo State are avoidable because they are traceable to lack of adequate and proper medical facilities in the state, particularly in our rural areas. To that end, the government has decided to renovate 305 primary health centers in the 305 electoral wards in Imo State, at least to make sure that every electoral ward has a one functional health center properly equipped with drugs available. In the health insurance scheme, currently the state government is partnering with the federal government to key into the health insurance scheme, and we are now doing enrollment. Beneficiaries, mostly the indigent one, the services or the cost of treatment will be borne by the states under the insurance scheme. We provided ambulances to all the 27 local governments in Imo State. We also provided for the secondary health, the primary health development agency, vehicles and equipments that they will need to take treatment and health services to the rural areas. Containment of the coronavirus, COVID-19 pandemic. The successful efforts put in place by the state government in the containment of COVID-19 pandemic ravaging the world came to fore in the low number of the infected persons in the state. Government has taken adequate measures to curtail the spread of the pandemic across the state. The pandemic is obviously not over, as each variant, the new variant, Delta variant, and the Omicron variant have just emerged. And as experts fear, these variants may be more dangerous. Thus, we shall encourage our people to get vaccinated. We have the vaccines available. We are pleading and encouraging our people to make themselves available and take the vaccine. The vaccine will only protect you from being infected. The vaccine is the only solution all over the world for now. It is important and advisable that we get vaccinated. We shall double our efforts to ensure that our people are safe. Let us keep observing the COVID-19 rules by maintaining social distances, wearing of face masks, and washing of our hands with soap and water, and the use of sanitizers. Please avail yourselves of the opportunity of taking the COVID-19 vaccination, which is free. It is not only free, it is available, and it is also safe. Provision of personal protective equipment against the incidence of COVID-19 and sensitization of the people on the need to take the COVID-19 vaccination is also ongoing. We have installed digital X-ray machines, dialysis machines. We have completed 4 new blocks of building and constructed a molecular laboratory in Imo State University Teaching Hospital. We've so cleaned up the university that university is now ready to serve our people. We want this Imo State University Teaching Hospital to deal mostly with the referrals, so that when the health centers takes a case and the case is beyond the health center, they are referred to the general hospital. If it is beyond the general hospital, it is now referred to tertiary hospital, which is the University Teaching Hospital. The transport sector, efforts are being made to reorganize the transport sector. To this end, biometric capturing of all buses in Imo, including Bus Imo and Taxi Imo operators in the state, have been carried out to check the menace of tax and people hiding under being bus drivers to commit crime. When this is completed, it will be queued into our software program and our system, and we will be able to manage and know which vehicle commits which offense and which driver is linked to that vehicle. It will support our security agencies to provide adequate security to our people. On assumption of office, the administration returned the panel set up by the previous administration to review allocation of lands and other related matters. The panel has successfully completed its assignment and submitted its report. Consequently, our administration, having carefully studied the report, ordered that all the illegally acquired lands and properties belonging to the state government and individuals, as recommended by the white paper passed, be revoked and returned to their rightful owners. That we have already done. Government is intensifying efforts in the determination of Imo State boundaries with her neighbors, especially the boundary issue between Imo State and Rivers State, where 17 oil wells belonging to Imo State were wrongly assigned to Rivers State, thereby denying Imo State her fair share of the revenue from those oil wells. The matter is awaiting final determination at the Appeals Court of Nigeria, and we hope that it will be disposed in favor of Imo State. When that happens, it will not only increase our internally generated revenue, it will also expose our people into being able to access the opportunities available by the status of oil-producing communities. In addition, the State Boundary Committee attended technical meetings of experts in Abuja for the determination of boundary issues between Imo State and Anambra State. We have 2-3 oil wells owned by Shell that were not developed, and for over 25 years, the Shell people were paying royalty to Imo State government. Suddenly, 9 years ago, the oil wells now were ceded to Anambra State. We've just started the case, and our own boundary committee, with experts hired to assist them, are working on the matter. It is our hope that at the end of the day, Imo State will recover those 3 or 4 oil wells back to themselves. Administration of justice, rule of law. Effective dispensation of justice by the judiciary in line with the rule of law, and ensuring that the interests of citizens of the state as well as the government are protected. The Imo State Judiciary, as the third arm of government, has been dispensing her duties and functions creditably, in accordance with the 3R mantra of the state government, in the areas of dispensation of justice, in line with the rule of law, adjudication of disputes, punishment of offenders, and safeguarding of the rights of our citizens. We must therefore commend our judiciary for doggedness and resilience in dispensing justice timelessly. Permit me to commend the Honorable Speaker and members of Imo State House of Assembly for carrying out their primary functions properly, as well as maintaining a harmonious working relationship with the executive arm of government. The quick passage of most of the bills and motions into laws and resolutions that has enabled the government to record tremendous achievements, some of which are highlighted in this my address. Government has continued to encourage the growth of commercial activities, especially those driven through private sector initiatives. We have also commenced the implementation of industrial policies targeted towards the development of a strong and viable industrial base for the revival of our state economy. You recall with interest that under the time of Desam Bakwe as the governor, we had industries littered all over in Imo State. Unemployment was at its lowest ebb. Today, 99.5% of those industries are moribund. Government has decided in preparing our industrial policy to consider those industries low-hanging fruits, rehabilitate them, make them operational and functional once more, use them to provide jobs for our teeming young men and women, and then create and build more industries. Some will be managed by government, some will be done through public-private partnerships, and some will be done through build to operate and transfer. The inspection, grading of produce, as well as fumigation and pest control activities have ensured that only quality produce are judged safe for consumption and industrial use by our people. And the only quality produce will only be allowed to be sold in our markets. There was a drastic reduction in the adulteration of palm produce, such as palm oil and palm kernel oil, due to the increased surveillance of the special task force set up to monitor illegal operators in the system. We have been able to register over 200 cooperative societies and organize rural farmers and artisans, workers in private sector into micro businesses for sustainable capital formation and increased productivity. Some cooperative societies were linked to multilateral finance agencies such as Agric Loans Board, Bank of Agriculture, Bank of Industry, microfinance banks, and the other institutions that are agro-related in funding support. Social development. The Ministry of Women Affairs and Vulnerable Groups, in collaboration with the Office of the Wife of the Governor, facilitated the organization of the International Children's Day celebration and other national global observances, such as the International Women's Day. We are interested, and only yesterday we assented into law the gender-based violence law. That law, I must commend Imo State House of Assembly as being one of the states that have passed this bill into law, and the Nigerians are very optimistic and excited that Imo State has joined the league of those who are against gender violence and personal attacks, particularly as it concerns rape. It is not only men that rape women. It is only in that law that I've also seen that women also rape men. The profile of the 2022 budget. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, having highlighted some of the achievements of our government during the period under review, it is my pleasure to further inform the honorable House about the major policy thrust of the budget of wealth creation 2, that is the people's budget. The major policy thrust of the 2022 budget is in line with the major policy thrust of my administration, which focuses on 3R mantra under the Imo Shared Prosperity Agenda. In the course of the preparation of this budget, all the 27 local governments in Imo State conducted open participatory stakeholders budget town hall meetings for citizens of the state to articulate their needs through community charter of the mind. The objectives of the 2022 budget, which contains government political, economic and social development programs, policies and strategies, is to satisfy the desires of all the good people of Imo State, to promote sustainable economic development of the state and promote prosperity. It is aimed at putting the well-being of the citizenry at the center of governance through massive reconstruction of our dilapidated infrastructure, improving the ease of doing business, ensuring sustainable economic growth, as well as encapsulating our vision of a new Imo State, which is predicated on freedom, on security, and shared prosperity, welded into good governance. We will continue to pursue and realize our mission through the following strategies: participatory governance through open budget process, human capital development agenda, education, health services, improved technology, and the infrastructural development. Growing the private sector and encouraging public-private partnership, and build, operate, and transfer. Encourage efficiency service delivery, grassroots development, exploitation of our natural resources, improve security for citizens and residents of Imo State. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, I have come to realize that if we don't go fight the insecurity head-on in Imo State, that Imo State will be wiped out and more people will continue to die. It is therefore my decision to bring out all the resources at the disposal of government to fight insecurity and bring those behind it to book. Job creation and massive economic growth through foreign direct investment, increase in internally generated revenue, increase in agricultural production, introducing high-yield varieties, and the establishment of agro-based industries to improve productivity. As I speak to you, the popular Acharugo farm, which was set up 25 years ago, 40-something years ago, abandoned 25 years ago, we've succeeded in renovating through partnership with NADA. It has been reactivated, it has been equipped. It has, as at yesterday, engaged 200 young men and women from Imo State, particularly from Owerri Federal Constituency, to now own up the farm. The farm government spent, in partnership with federal government, over 1.8 billion naira. Basic assumptions of 2022 budget, macroeconomic environment. The 2022 budget is based on the following assumptions: Federal Government of Nigeria's Medium-Term Expenditure Framework, MTEF, and Fiscal Strategy Paper. Federal Government of Nigeria's adoption of an oil price benchmark of $57 per barrel, daily oil production estimate of 1.88 million barrels per day, and an exchange rate of 410.15 per US dollars for 2022. National growth GDP of 4.2% in 2022, driven largely by non-oil output, as economic diversification accelerates the enabling business environment, which in cost improves the standard of living, and if properly monitored, will allow for prudent management of every revenue coming into government cover. The 2022 budget has a total budgeted recurrent revenue of 142,855,407,202. The sum of 11,560,053,039 is budgeted as personnel costs, which represent 3.03% of the total budget estimate. The overhead cost in the 2022 budget is 42,335,337,355 naira, representing 12.15% of the budget estimate. The sum of 15,743,247,101 is provided in the budget as consolidated revenue fund charges. Summary of the 2022 budget, therefore. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, after a careful assessment of the present economic situation in the country and the prevailing macroeconomic indices, I hereby present to you a total proposed 222 budget estimate of 381 billion 462 million 947,677 naira. The budget is appropriately captioned Budget of Wealth Consolidation and Recovery, the People's Budget. A summary of the 2022 budget shows that the recurrent expenditure for 2022, which is 142 billion 855 million 407,202 naira, while that of 2021 approved budget was 136 billion 80 million 551,348 kobo. This represents 4.74% increase in revenue projection. Recurrent expenditure. The recurrent expenditure was for 2021 96 billion 746 million 349 million 775 naira, as against the sum of 74 billion 644 million 241,941 naira. This shows 22.81% increase. The sum of 8 billion 980 million, which was provided for COVID-19 intervention in the 2022 recurrent expenditure. Capital expenditure. The capital expenditure in 2022 budget is 284 billion 716 million 597,902 naira, compared to the sum of 271 billion 525 million 730,144 in the year 2021 approved budget, showing 4.63% increase. Also, 6 billion 379 million 828,253 naira provision was made to mitigate the negative effects of COVID-19 pandemic under capital expenditure. Sectorial capital expenditure. Economic sector. The 2021 approved capital expenditure for economic sector was 150 billion 307 million 341,203 naira, while the amount for 2022 was reduced to 142 billion 334 million 52,933 kobo, representing 5.6% decrease. Social service sector. The 2021 approved capital expenditure for social service sector was 52 billion 733 million 889,350 naira, but was slightly increased to 55 billion 757 million 500,000 in 2022, representing 5.42%. General administration sector. The 2021 approved capital expenditure for general administration sector was 63 billion 216 million 900,426 naira. The provision for 22 under general services sector is 78 billion 125 million 931,053 naira, representing 19.1% increase. Government transfers. The amount approved for government transfers in 2021 approved capital budget was 5 billion 267 million 599,165 naira, but 8 billion 499 million 133,916 million provision was made for government transfers under capital expenditure of the 2022 budget, representing 38.02% increase. In summary, the 2022 capital expenditure is 284 billion 716 million 597,000 902 naira, representing 74.6% of the total budget size. The 2022 budget came to a total of 381 billion 462 million 947,677 naira. 2022 recurrent revenue in comparison with 2021 approved budget. The recurrent revenue items 2022 budget estimate, 2021 approved budget, percentage of 2022 budget, and all the estimates are all contained in the annexures. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House of Assembly, may I conclude this 2022 budget presentation address by once more thanking you, Mr. Speaker, and members of this great Imo House of Assembly for your cooperation and full solidarity to my administration since my assumption of office as the Governor of Imo State. I assure you of our commitment to vigorously pursue the implementation of our policies, programs, and projects captured in the 2022 budget, christened the People's Budget. We shall continue to strive ahead with good governance by providing the dividends of democracy to our people. The present challenges notwithstanding, by the grace of God, we shall overcome the current challenges of insecurity, and our people will have life and have it more abundantly. On this note, therefore, may I present the Imo State 2022 budget revenue and expenditure estimates for the consideration and appropriation of this Honorable House of Assembly. Mr. Speaker, Ndi Imo Umunne m, I thank you for the opportunity to serve you as your governor. Let me use this auspicious event of the presentation of the People's Budget to the People's Assembly to reiterate my avowed commitment to serve Imo people. Serve Imo people honestly and accountably too. Going forward, we must now insist on a new Imo State where the rule of law is sacrosanct, a new Imo State that guarantees equality of rights of our people, irrespective of your office, irrespective of your wealth, irrespective of your social status. This is the future I envisage for our dear state. A future that is secured on equal basis for all our people. A future where we can truly beat our chests and say that we have a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, I thank you for your time. I expect that in your usual sense of diligence and duty, you will attend to this appropriation bill before you very, very expeditiously. May God bless you, and thank you very much. Long live Imo State, long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, and thank you.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Section 121 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, the 2022 Appropriation Bill of Imo State has been properly laid on the table by the Governor of Imo State, His Excellency, Most Distinguished Senator Uzodinnma. By this, Mr. Speaker, the Appropriation Bill now, House of Assembly Bill number 99, is deemed to have been read the first time.
Thank you. Your Excellency, I shall not hesitate in thanking you for this painstaking presentation that has appraised your performance so far, and most importantly, has revealed your 2022 policy direction. I have no doubt that even if only 75% of this budget is implemented, Imo State will witness a very tremendous and remarkable leap in the area of infrastructural development and general socio-economic advancement. The House of Assembly of Imo State, under my leadership, Your Excellency, is poised more than ever to assist Your Excellency in realizing your set goals, your aspirations, and your policies for Imo State. We shall engage seriously our oversight powers within the context of the 1999 Constitution to ensure that we assist Your Excellency chaperone this vision to reality for the prosperity of Imo people. Thank you. Let me seize this moment to recognize very specially lots of dignitaries who accompanied His Excellency into these hallowed chambers for the purpose of this very sacred assignments. We have in our midst His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Imo State, Professor Placid Njoku. We also have Chief Cosmos Iwu, the Secretary to State Government. Of course, Barrister Nnamdi Anyehe, the Chief of Staff, Government House, is here. Dr. C.C. Iwabu, Head of Service, is also present. Chief Charles Oye, the Managing Director, ISOPADEC, is here. Honorable Ugochukwu Nzekwe, SA Public Safety, is also with us, who happens to be part of our constituency. Barrister Emeka Abo, the Deputy Chief of Staff Operations, is here. Mrs. Pat Ekeji, SA on Strategy, who of course is a member of this constituency, is with us. Sir Bright Mwelwe, the Chief Protocol Officer of His Excellency, is here. Dr. Mrs. Irene Chima, the Principal Secretary to the Governor, thank you for finding time to be here. Barrister C.O.C. Akolisa, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Imo State, is here. You know, these recognitions are in no particular order. Honorable Winnie Okurigwe, the IMC Chairman for Uri West, who also doubles as Algon Chairman, is also here. Honorable Humphrey Dikocha, one-time Speaker of Imo State House of Assembly, is accompanied here by Right Honorable Du, another past Speaker of Imo State House of Assembly. They are here, and we thank them so beautifully for finding time to join us. Honorable Emadike, former member of our Sul State constituency, of course our constituent, is also here. The SAGM OCDA has also been cited. As we receive further assistance by way of identifying dignitaries that are here, we will continue to announce them. Thank you. HOB 99, which is the 2022 appropriation bill, is adjourned to Monday, 20th December 2021 for second reading. Clerk.
Still under order of the day, Mr. Speaker, item number 11, comments from honorable members.
Honorable members, the time is now to make contributions. We have painstakingly listened to His Excellency, and it's time for us to make our contributions. Honourable Member Idato South.
Your Excellency, our Governor, the working governor, the performing governor, the governor of Consolidation, Owa Oyoko, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the Speaker, Imo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Kennedy Ibe, other dignitaries here present. Let me, for want of time, let me stand on the already established protocol by His Excellency while he was delivering his speech. Your Excellency, my name is Honorable Duru Iyonuka Johnson. I represent the good people of Idato South. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen here present, I wish to recall that in 2021, about this time, I'm talking about the 2021 appropriation bill. Your Excellency, we are here, you presented to us the budget of wealth creation. Your Excellency, today again, you are here for the budget 2022 as budget of wealth, consolidation, and recovery. In other words, you called it the budget of the people, the people's budget. Your Excellency, invariably, you have dedicated this budget to Imolites. Your Excellency, before we discuss the budget 2022, Your Excellency, it becomes highly imperative, Your Excellency, that we x-ray the budget of 2021. Your Excellency, you have kind of solved our challenges by painstakingly enumerating in this your budget address a good number of what you used the budget to pass for 2021 to do for Imolites. Your Excellency, from my understanding of this presentation, Your Excellency, you were very modest in your presentation, Your Excellency. There were so many things you did for Imo State or for Imolites that were not captured in this your address, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, I'm not sure I heard about the road leading from Owerri or Kigwe. Your Excellency, those roads are landmark. Your Excellency, while we look forward to the people's budget, Your Excellency, I wish on the behalf of the good people of Idato South, score you 100% so far for what you've done with that of 2021. Your Excellency, most times I see you, or I liken you to the Nehemiah in the Bible. Nehemiah was working and at the same time fighting. Your Excellency, what you have gone through in Imo State, it is not easy for somebody to have achieved all this, Your Excellency. From the inception of your administration, Your Excellency, where do we start? From NSAS, Your Excellency, to COVID-19, to the recent insecurity, banditry, and the rest of them. And as if that was not enough, Your Excellency, you look beyond Imo State. You come up with a book, Your Excellency, The Reflection on Igbo Questions. Your Excellency, you don't know the impact that book has on the people on Igbo nation. Your Excellency, to me, that book can be captioned again, The Solution to Igbo Question, Your Excellency. You have actually provided a solution to our myriad of challenges facing the Igbo nation that has given rise to people behaving in a way that is not, inconsistent with what Igbos are known for. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for that. You have really solved the problem, and I'm sure the Commissioner for Information will do well to make sure that that book circulates. It's a must read for Your Excellency. For this, they said, when you have passed one exam, it is important we go over to the next one, Your Excellency. As far as 2021 appropriation bill was concerned or is concerned, Your Excellency, you did extremely well with that. And from my own point of view, as the member representing the good people of Imo State, I want to assure you that the 2022 appropriation bill will be given the expected expeditious time, Your Excellency, by this Honorable House. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Honourable Member, for that aside. Uzodinnma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Michael Njoko. I represent the good people of Uzodinnma. Mr. Speaker, Your Excellency, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma, our dear Governor, you are welcome to the High Chamber of Imo State. Today is a very remarkable day in the history of Imo State and in the history of your administration, Your Excellency. Today, you present a budget titled the People's Budget. Your Excellency, I want to first of all appreciate you because this is truly a people's budget. I can recall there are several meetings in different local governments where SS, traditional rulers, PGs, president generals of different communities came out with proposals of what they want in their various communities, Your Excellency, and I can see that those things has been captured in this budget. Your Excellency, we pray that 2022 will be a blessed year for Imo State, for us to be able to achieve this budget, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, 2021 comes with a lot of storms and a lot of trauma in the state. But Your Excellency, you tried and you did very well in combating all the insecurity challenges that we faced, and you were able to deliver almost 80% of 2021 budget, Your Excellency. We want to appreciate you for that, and we believe that 2022 will be better. Your Excellency, I've taken my time to peruse through this presentation, and I can see that we have over 74% for capital expenditure, Your Excellency. If this is implemented, Your Excellency, Imo will be a small London. Believe me, the people of Imo State will smile again if this budget, by the special grace of God, the capital expenditure, Your Excellency, for you to use a good thought out program, for you to allocate almost 80% of 2022 budget for capital expenditure. Your Excellency, that shows that Imo will experience infrastructural development in 2022. Your Excellency, we want to say as a house and as a mouthpiece of the good people of Uzodinnma, because my people were in those presentations, and I can see that our interest, the interest of the good people of Uzodinnma, the interest of Okigwe, the interest of Imo State are in this budget, and I want to appreciate you, and I pray that God will give you the enablement to be able to carry out this Herculean task that you have. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and honorable colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Honourable Member Uzodinnma.
I've also been notified that the Honorable Commissioner for Works, who is doing all the magic with His Excellency, is here. Honorable Commissioner Raf Wosu, thank you. Honorable Chief Eke Ikechukwu, SA Tourism and Hospitality, is here. Honorable Barrister Woke, SA Legal Matters, is here. Honorable Batos Wadike, SA Political, is here. Honorable Dr. Samuelson Emehibe, SA Special Citizens. Engineer Kalistan Ugo Anyang, GM Imo Water Corporation, is here. And our own Honorable Eric Wakwe, SA Youth, have also cited you. Thank you. Let us hear the Honorable Member for Abo Mbise.
Your Excellency, the parliamentarian governor, the people's governor, the performing governor, most distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Professor Placid Njoko, my dear Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the Speaker with driver's license, Right Honorable Barrister Kennedy Ibe, honorable colleagues, all protocols observed. My name is Honorable Chief Eddie Obina, Deputy Chief Whip. I represent Abo Mbiso State Constituency. Well, today is a memorable day. It is a day that the people's governor, our governor, a super parliamentarian, a ranking senator, must have been preparing himself to come and do the traditional ritual. As a senator, he's used to preparation of budgets. And our governor has today presented a super people's budget, tagged budget of wealth creation 2, aka people's budget, continuation of 2021 budget. This budget indeed captured the people of Imo State. How? Capital expenditure. The totality of this budget, 74.6% of the total budget is allocated to capital expenditure. That indicates that the people's governor has come to work. Again, under social services, the allocation increased by 5.42% from what was obtainable in 2021 budget. These are indicators, indices, that our governor and his team are prepared to serve, to work for Imolites. No wonder Governor Hope Uzodinnma was ordained by God himself to be our governor. and all of us concord today. He is our governor. He will serve out his first term and again win landslide to serve his constitutionally mandatory second term. Now, Your Excellency, I hope I'm speaking on behalf of my colleagues, including Mr. Speaker sitting up there. I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for provision of our constituency projects in our different constituencies. Our people are happy that your impact, our impact, are felt at home, at our constituencies. On behalf of our constituents, I am thanking you, Your Excellency, for making constituency projects funding available for us. God bless you. You are talking to do, Governor. You talk, you do. Again, we thank God. The security challenge that bedeviled us was enormous. You did your very best to fight headlong the challenges, and you encouraged us to go back to our local governments and engage the people, because power truly belongs to the people. And we all did that. Went to our various local governments, had peace meetings, which resulted in the relative peace we are enjoying today, coupled with numerous peace meetings, sessions you convened in the states. I thank you. My people, I won't be say people, thank you, Your Excellency, for the good things you are doing for these states. Of course, we expect no less from you, because you are experienced. You are a governor with a driver's license. You perform very well in the rate chambers. So, as a state governor now, in the executive system, you should leverage on your experience from the rate chambers, parliament, and do very well. That you are doing. Imolites are happy with you, Your Excellency. Keep doing good. God will always be protecting you and be guarding you. Finally,
thank you.
The budget estimates you have brought today, definitely we'll now sit down and look into it, and we assure you accelerated passage. God bless you. God bless Imo State. Thank you, everybody.
Excellent delivery from the voice of Abombise. His Excellency gets endorsements from the voice of Abombise, the only voice that speaks in Imo State House of Assembly, that is Abo. Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to announce that we are properly secured here, because the SA Security, His Excellency CP Dan Okoro, is here. And I'm sure it will delight the honorable members to hear that His Excellency did not come alone, but he came with Sir Linus Okafor, the Accountant General of Imo State. I have consciously reserved for this moment the acknowledgement of the presence of the man whose office is under test today, the Honorable Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Honorable C.C. Osuala. You are here. Other members, let us continue to take the debates. Let's hear from our own member from Isu, Honorable Ngozi Obiofla.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name, Your Excellency, I beg to stand on the already established protocol. I'm Right Honorable Ngozi Obiefule, member representing the wonderful people of Isu, right here in the Hallowed Chambers. Your Excellency, I want to say before the Imo public that I'm proud to be born under the same star of the Sagittarius, like yourself. The Sagittarius does not go looking for a fight, but when you bring a fight to him, he never backs down. We have the spirit of impossibilities, that there is really nothing impossible. Impossibilities are only for fools, because the only thing impossible is for God to see anyone greater than himself. Apart from that, all things are possible. In the past 2 years, you have showcased this. In the face of tremendous challenges, you have shown that indomitable spirit of the Sagittarius. Honest, believe and let's live spirit, but don't ever take that for granted. People who challenge you never knew you will react the way you have done. You don't go looking for trouble, but when it comes, you face it head on, and you see the fight to the end. Because that spirit of truth continues to guide you. You don't try to marginalize people. You don't try to hurt people. The spirit is that of live and let me live. So, Your Excellency, my colleagues have aptly said what you've done in the last 2 years. And I just want to rise to say congratulations so far. May that spirit, that indomitable spirit, continue to lead you. Because as long as you're on the right path, on the path of making Imo State great, on the path of looking at the less privileged, which is who really we are here for, looking out for their good, you have sanitized a lot of things. The pensioners are now taking home their pay. The workers, in fact, where the lady from Customer Protection Agency yesterday told us that she met 68 staff, but eventually it was seen that 8 were taking salaries from a lot of agencies, a lot of other establishments. If not for what you have put in place, it wouldn't have been discovered. So you're doing a lot, and I'll say that this your budget have shown that it's also a step in the right direction. So, Your Excellency, may God continue to guide you, and I know that you will triumph in the long run. Thanks, I will not say in the long run, but in the shortest possible time frame. Thank you, Your Excellency, for this wonderful budget you have presented before Imo State. God bless you.
Thank you, Amazon. Let us take one from our brothers on the other side. Honourable Member Olu.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Imo State, and the Deputy Executive Governor, and my Speaker, and members of the Ninth House. My name remains Honorable Chief Pascal Okole, and I am here to represent Olo's interests. His Excellency, you would have noticed that after your budget speech, no member of the Ninth House clapped for you. And that is not because of disregard. Being a parliamentarian, more than most of us are, you know we are not expected to clap for you. The Executive Governor of Imo State. Based on that, I won't say I appreciate, I won't say thank you, because it is not expected of me to do so. My responsibility is to urge you to do more. Having said that, I must say that I have noticed positively the reconstruction linking Olo to Owerri Metropolis. I must say that I've noticed recently the dislodgement of the kidnapping, armed robbery, flesh-eating cannibals in Osun. I've noticed that. The Executive Governor of Imo State, I will also say that I have noticed the demolition of the obnoxious roundabouts in our metropolis. And I personally moved a motion here suggesting
that we should put cameras in these traffic lights to protect Imo citizens and, of course, generate revenue. I've noticed that, sir. I also wish to say that I have noticed that for the first time in so many years, the College of Medicine in Olo graduated students this year. I noticed that, His Excellency. Having said this, I wish to say that the expectations we have of this budget won't be let down, I trust you. Because looking at it, when you say you are going to provide dams in Okigwe and the Yishi, it means you are interested in providing food substitutability for Imo citizens. Fruits will no longer be, fruits and vegetables and whatever we are eating is going to be off-season. Anytime you like it, you have it. It's not going to be seasonal orange, seasonal pineapple, seasonal avocado. No. We are going to have fruits, we are going to have vegetables, we are going to have food all season round. We are no longer going to depend on the north for what we eat. We expect this budget to be fully implemented. And if that happens, the Imo youths will be employed, we have food on our table. Secondly, Mr. Governor, the IGR of the state, which we propose to enhance through hotel profiling, which will generate revenue, apart from generating revenue, is going to bring in influx of visitors to Imo State, where they are going to come to spend their hard-earned money. So we are going to have enough money for ourselves and give the visitors the assurances that their safety is guaranteed. The Executive Governor of Imo State with 74.6% capital expenditure. It is obvious that you wish to turn Imo State into a construction site, and I wish you well. Having said these things, we are aware that part of the handicaps of budget implementation is political lobbying. Being a man of strength, we do not expect the politicians to be too overbearing on the budget to frustrate it. And lastly, I wish to, despite the fact that I don't want to say thank you, I wish to acknowledge the fact that in your page 3, I think that is one, that is, page 3, 1.3. Let me read. I urge honorable members to study the inputs from their local governments to ensure that they are faithfully implemented. With this, you are giving us the authority to oversight the projects and insist on performance. Having said this, Mr. Governor, I wish you well in your endeavors, and I say, Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member of Law, for the assurances of oversight. Other members, more contributions? Let us hear from our other Amazon, Honourable Member for Njaba.
Your Excellency, the capacity governor, the compassionate governor, our own visionary governor, the people's governor, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Imo State, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma, thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. The Deputy Governor, the Chief Judge, Secretary to State Government, the Chief of Staff, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Your Excellency, my name is Right Honorable Ambassador Mrs. Uju Onwudiwe, PhD, the former Speaker Pro Tempore, the first female Speaker of Imo State House of Assembly. Your Excellency, it may interest you to know that this is the first time I'm listening to the chamber. The other day, my colleague asked me, Igolo, you don't use this thing. it's like we will tell Speaker to take it away from you. And I quickly told him that if Speaker tries it in that case, his own seat will be null and void, because I still stand to be the John the Baptist of this new leadership. Mr. Speaker and my distinguished colleague, today is a wonderful day. Mr. Speaker came on board, and the journalist has no negative things to report on us. Before now, they moved our name from 9th Assembly to NIGHT Assembly. But our current leadership, led by Right Honorable Barrister Kennedy Ibe, changed our 9th Assembly to Light Assembly, LIGHT, that makes these honorable members to have dignity in doing their job. Our leadership have been doing well. Your Excellency, we are here to appreciate you on behalf of the women of Imo State. Your Excellency, you don't know what I have done to Imo women, men, and youths over the VAT bill you assented to a few days back. And I am happy that it comes from you for people to know that even men are being raped. And I will also remind this honorable chamber that even men are being battered by their wives. People always think that VAT bill and VAT law is for women, but it is for all. Both men, women, youths, and our young ones. But with that VAT bill, you've already showcased the compassionate heart you have towards your citizenry. To say no to violence, all forms of violence. And we are not just saying it, you are acting it. The huge insecurity problem we're having in Imo State, with your capacity, you can see that it is reducing. That before the first week of December, majority of our Imolas started trooping back home. Your Excellency, you are doing well. Your Excellency, the calamity that happened in Imo State, in Njaba the other day, Your Excellency, you didn't live in Njaba, people. You were there for us, especially those 3 traditional rulers that got injury. You stand firm to take care of them. The hospital bill, their welfare, everything about them. On behalf of Njaba people, I am here to say thank you, Your Excellency, for that wonderful good heart. Your Excellency, for those that we lost, the heroes that we lost, you said you're going to stand by us. Your Excellency, your love for Njaba, words, I lost words to express it. Because I always tell people that you are one of us, you are Njaba people. I know that Oru East and Oru West always kick against it. But Your Excellency, you are doing very well. In the educational sector, Your Excellency, you are doing wonderfully. You've said it here earlier, but people might be thinking, is it true? I am here to confirm that over 11 years, our medical students find it difficult to graduate. But the moment the report got to His Excellency did the needful, and our children was graduated immediately. Your Excellency, the agri sector, you are there for them. The health sector, you are there for them. Your Excellency, I can tell you that you are all-rounder. In your report, you mentioned few things, but I know that in our various constituencies, you've done much. Obi-Wan Road in Njaba, Your Excellency, courtesy you. Oba, Omaka, Isu Road, Your Excellency, you were there for us. The ongoing projects of Amon Mama Okodo Road, Your Excellency, which one are we going to list and leave others? Is it the signature project of Olu Owole Road? Your Excellency, that road is a road that even the blind can testify that you are not just doing the road, but you are doing a quality road, giving back to the people you love. Your Excellency, we can never stop thanking you for all the work you have been doing. The 2021 budget was well implemented. We are not afraid that 2022 that you will still do what you know how to do best. You are here to serve Imo State. You are here to take to Imo State from where we were to where the next level that we have been dreaming for. And we know that it's only God will give you the grace to actualize your dream. You've been doing wonderful for Imo State, and I know
that before 6 months of the implementation of this 2022 budget, that Imolite will see your good heart that is near you to be the leaders of Imo State and telling people what leadership is all about. Your Excellency, we are grateful we have you as a governor. Njaba people and Imolite will forever support you. Your Excellency, the women are also thanking you for being gender friendly. In your government today, before now, we'll be screaming for 35%. Your Excellency, we're giving out 35%. As I'm saying it here, I don't want the men to be jealous, so don't change our percentage, Your Excellency. We're asking for more because we know that women have the capacity to do the work to the best of their knowledge. Your Excellency, I am also asking for one thing, that the immortalization of our fallen heroes in Jinjaba, that you will see to it. Those people die in active service, and we know that you will never leave in Jaba to be on their own. We appreciate you, we thank you, and we'll do everything humanly possible to make sure we'll team up with your vision to bring your dream to Imo State, to see the difference between a leader and other leader. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, and distinguished.
Thank you so very much, honorable colleagues, for very beautiful contributions. And thank you for lavishing assurances on His Excellency for the accelerated passage of the 2022 budget. I therefore respectfully urge His Excellency to go gear up for takeoff of implementation, because I'm sure that when I get such assurances from members, they are very valid assurances. Let me acknowledge the presence of all commissioners and all commissioner nominees, along with leaders who, for want of time, cannot be individually recognized. You are very welcome to this plenary session, and I say God bless you. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, still under order of the day, item number 12, vote of thanks by the Deputy Speaker.
Right Honorable Amarachi China, Deputy Speaker, on behalf of the House, give vote of thanks.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Imo State, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Imo State, Professor Placid Njoko, Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Kennedy Ibe, honorable colleagues and our esteemed guests, I remain Right Honorable Amachina Iwayan, Deputy Speaker, Ninth House of Assembly. Your Excellency, I have been called upon by our dear Speaker to give a vote of thanks. Your Excellency, when I saw the order paper for today, and after listening to you, rolling out your achievements and your proposals in the next budget, I began to ask myself, am I going to thank you for what you have done, or am I going to thank you for what you're about to do? Your Excellency, am I going to thank you for the House members, or am I going to thank you for Imolites? Your Excellency, the vote of thanks will come, first of all, on behalf of all Imolites, to thank you, Your Excellency, for the wonderful work you have done in the health sector by the provision of 27 mobile clinics in the 27 local government areas of Imo State, rehabilitation of IMSUT, the ongoing construction of our 305 primary health centers across the state, even the construction of a new clinic in the civil service, just for the purpose to render services to the civil servants. Your Excellency, On behalf of Imolites, I also thank you for the wonderful infrastructure work you are doing, the roads that have been completed, and that which you are working on. Your Excellency, on behalf of Imolites, I thank you for training and empowering 15,000 youths with starter packs, creating an enabling environment for our youths to begin different businesses. Just 5 days ago, Your Excellency, you launched the Imo State Facility Fashion Hub. We want to thank you for that. Your Excellency, in terms of education, we thank you for the establishment of a new polytechnic in Omoma. We thank you for Umagwo at the University of Agriculture. We thank you for the full recovery of K.O. Mbadiwe University. We thank you for various rehabilitations of our industries, both ADAPAM, Otamil Water Scheme, rehabilitation of the Olu Ihala substation, rehabilitation of Dananyam Stadium, and construction of a swimming pool, the first of its kind in the southeast of Nigeria, the construction of the gym center. We thank you, sir, for even considering the House of Assembly, the rehabilitation of our complex to a world standard complex. On behalf of Imolites, Your Excellency, we thank you for even the balloon drainage that has caused water blockage everywhere. Your Excellency, on behalf of Imolites, we thank you. On behalf of the House of Assembly today, Your Excellency, we thank you for your presence here. We thank you for giving us that which we have been yearning for. Where most state governors have dragged, you gave us financial autonomy. Your Excellency, we thank you and we are most grateful. We thank you, Your Excellency, that today you are here. Last year you gave us a budget, which you midtermed the budget of wealth creation. And in building wealth, you blocked holes, eliminated fraud in our system, and you were able to build wealth for the state. Today, you have come up with a people's budget. In my understanding, Your Excellency, what you have just said is that the year 2022 is the year of the people. It's a year which you will put smiles in the faces of Imo State because you have created wealth and now you are consolidating on that wealth. Your Excellency, I have given vote of thanks for the people of Imo State. I have given vote of thanks on behalf of the 9th House of Assembly for your presence here today. Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, I want us to pass a vote of confidence on the way His Excellency is tackling security in the state, that we are 100% with him and we stand with him. With your kind permission, Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Deputy Speaker, vote of thanks couldn't have been said better, but you have also summarized your vote of thanks by moving the motion. The motion is validly on the floor of this House, but this motion cannot see the light of the day if it is not seconded. Do we have any seconder? Honorable Member Oru East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Excellency, the Governor, my brother, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma, the Deputy Governor, Professor Placid Njoko. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. My name is Honorable Chigozowane, member representing Oru East State Constituency, and by the grace of God, the Chief Whip of the 9th House of Assembly, I rise to support the motion ably moved by the Deputy Speaker on vote of confidence on our Governor, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma. I so second.
Members, for want of time, I would urge the Deputy Speaker, who is the chief mover of this motion, to adopt that comments earlier made suffices as your explanation of your motion. Therefore, honourable members, those in support that vote of confidence be passed on His Excellency the Governor of Imo State, say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clerk.
order of the day, item number 13, motion for the Governor of Imo State, His Excellency Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma, and his entourage to leave the chamber.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Kanari Mechi, represent the Group of Owerri West. By the grace of God, Majority Leader, Igbo Night Assembly, Mr. Speaker. Motion for the Governor of Imo State, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma, and his entourage to leave the chamber. Be it resolved in this honorable house that leave be granted for the Governor of Imo State, Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinnma, and his entourage to leave the chamber. I so move.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Any seconder?
Thank you, our special speaker. Thank you, Your Excellency, for coming for the budget presentation. I remain my humble self, Honorable Barrister Anyadike Mosu, representing the good people of Ezinwit and by God's grace, the minority leader. I second the motion moved by the majority leader that the governor should take his leave. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, all those in agreement that leave be granted His Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, to leave the chamber, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.